Okay, so just a little housekeeping before we get started. If you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into the Q&A box in your Zoom control panel below. We'll check them up during the presentation, and we'll be also running a live Q&A at the end of the webinar. So now I will turn the time over to our product line manager, Justin Lin, for the coming session. Justin.
Hello, everyone. My name is Justin Lin, product line manager of Zyxel Networks. Welcome to joining with us to eyewitness the significant milestone of Zyxel Networks to launch the whole new Nebula solution. In this post-pandemic era, the way people working has changed forever. The way people get connected to the network, the way people accessing the office network has changed a lot. As a result, this leads to a severe challenge to IT professionals, where they are required to deploy, to support, and not to mention the most importantly, to secure a distributed network, where the network perimeter no longer exists, right? The Nebula Together representing Zyxel's strategy to bring the whole network together into a single platform. With the onboarding of the UAG Flex series, now the whole new Nebula solution takes security to a new level. Now, let the journey begins. All right, we have been launching Nebula solution for more than 3 years, and now the installation base has passing the 200,000 mark. So, which means more and more customers are now adapting to the Nebula solution. The Nebula solution was designed to fast deploy and simple to manage the whole network. So imagine your device will be connected, configured, and monitored in just a few minutes. The Nebula solution, we particularly care about the mass deployment. So imagine from the Nebula Cloud, you can just using a few clicks to finish the settings of the whole network. And after that, you just simply using the Nebula app, scanning the QR code to finish the device registration, right? And after that, you just drop ship your devices to the physical location for install. And the rest part, the Nebula will do that for you automatically. So imagine you just put the device online and it will phone home automatically. Then Nebula will push the latest firmware to the device to enjoy the new features. And not to mention, it will automatically retrieve the configuration from the Nebula Cloud. This all happened automatically without hassle. Since Nebula is a native cloud-based network management solution, so from the cloud, you basically see everything on the ground. So no matter where your device was deployed, how many networks you are managing, no problem. With the Nebula Control Center, you can have an overview of that into a single viewing platform. And the Nebula Control Center is hosted in the public cloud, so no matter where you are, you can just access the Nebula dashboard nice and clean. So the famous Nebula dashboard, it's designed for multi-tenant, so you can easily to switch in between different network sites. And on top of that, you also have the capability to overview the status of each networking devices. This including the access points, this including the wireline switches, and this also including the firewalls, right? And understanding the network usage is always critical for IT professionals. So from the Nebula dashboard, you can easily to get a grip of the traffic usage and also the application. And if you want to look into details, you can always drill down to see who is using which application, okay? And Notification is so important, particularly for the professional ITs. So you always need to know what exactly happened in your network at the first place. So no problem with the Nebula app, we will push the real-time notification to your mobile phone. So no matter where you are, you can always get a grip about what exactly happened in your network. And since the Nebula is designed to managing the distributed networks, so there are very important thing is to optimize the workflow, optimize the process that you creating these networks, right? So there are many important features that is supported in this scenario. I just named a few. The first thing is the site configuration cloning. So imagine you are deploying the hundreds of network sites with a similar configuration. So you just you can quickly synchronize the site configuration from one to another. And then another topic is about the security. To maintain the same security across different networks becomes crucial in nowadays distributed network environment. So no problem, Nebula will support you the security profile synchronization, so you can easily to keep your security profile synchronized across different networks. And not to mention, when you have a need to modify the security policy, and again, it will be automatically pushed to every network site. So this is quite useful when you are really managing a large scale of network. And not to mention, we have some couple nice and friendly features, like you can easily to clone the configuration from one site to one device to another, or you can spend effort on configuring the devices, so the configuration will be backed up automatically in the Nebula, safe and sound. And not to mention the maintenance, you can easily doing the scheduling of the firmware upgrade, or you can upgrade firmware on the fly, right? Well, you are managing a network, so sometimes the network problem happen. So it is always critical for IT professional to troubleshooting the problem on time. So with the Nebula, we packed with a comprehensive tools for the ITs to do the troubleshooting without the need to go on site. This is so important nowadays, right? So just name a few. The remote COI will allows you, just like you are sitting in front of the device, right? No matter where you are, you just through the reverse tunnel, you can manage all the network under the Nebula platform. And remote cable diagnostics is an easy tool for you to understand the healthiness of the cable quality. And there are also some legacy networking troubleshooting tool embedded in the Nebula platform, like the ping test, like the trace route, so you can do the ground job. And automatic topology is quite useful, particularly when you need to know which device is connected to another. So these are all the useful features that we design for the ITs to maintain a distributed network efficiently. Okay, so now the big thing of the Nebula Together is with the addition of the USG Flex series. So with the USG Flex series onboarding, we are not just managing the device together into the same platform. However, we also take a step further by collaborating these devices to have them work together to achieve better results, to bring the security to a new level. So the USG Flex Security Fabric, it delivers a multi-layer UTM protection. It will spot out the network threats happen in your network. And the CDR, it's a collaborative detection and response. The new feature will be a new solution to helping SMB to respond to the network threat automatically by containing the network threat at the network edge. So imagine the firewall and access point work together to contain the threat before they spread out in your network. This is truly what SMB is looking for. And VPNs becomes so crucial nowadays. Everyone needs VPN. So in the past, when people managing a mesh VPN or a hub and spoke VPN, it is always troublesome to configure in the VPN policy for each VPN gateways. You need to configure one by one. It's lousy and it's complex. Now with the Nebula, the VPN orchestrator, with just a few clicks, you can the Nebula will automatically provision the VPN policies to these VPN gateways. So compared to what you had before, it's a whole new experience to maintain a production VPN network. And another good example is the drop-in AP, which helping people to to deploy the access point across different networks at the employee's household. So these are the facilities that Nebula adapted to helping IT to managing the distributed networks. And in the Nebula Together, we take step further by offering this remote AP. We call it RAP, and this solution is particularly useful when the company want to deploy the secure Wi-Fi service at the employee's workplace. So imagine the RAP will create a layer 2 tunnel to the office network. So since the tunnel is layer 2, so that which means that the user experience is exactly the same as the user is sitting in the office. So they are accessing the same SSID, they are using the same VLAN, they are sharing the same IP address, and they are accessing the same office resources. And not to mention, all this traffic are encrypted with the industry de facto technology. So this is a best solution to balance the productivity and also the security, right? So with such a secure Wi-Fi plus the RIP solution, it is truly deliver a solution that will ease a lot of the IT support effort while maintaining the high level of the security. And talk about the wireless, and wireless signal is invisible. So to troubleshooting the wireless performance issue is always a headache to the IT professionals. So no problem, with the Nebula, we deliver a creative tool. We call it the wireless health monitor. So the idea is that through the Nebula AI machine learning, we constantly monitoring the healthiness of the wireless signal in between the wireless client and the access point, and presenting the healthy status to the IT administrators. And we also take step further, not just monitoring, but also taking actions to remediate the wireless problems. So this is the truly solution for SMB to efficiently maintain the service level of their wireless infrastructure. So if you take a look at this wireless monitor, so you can get the instant view by wireless band. So you can switch in between 2.4 to 5 gig. And also, if you want to take a look of how many of the access points are in good shape, how many of them are in poor condition, so you can have an overview from this dashboard, nice and clean. Or you want to look into the healthiness of the wireless clients, no problem. You can also see that wireless client condition in the clean dashboard. And there's another feature is the histogram. So we can support up to 30 days of the performance histogram. So you can easily understand the historical wireless network performance. And there are also, as I mentioned, the automated action will be taken by Nebula. So what it does is it's constantly monitoring the healthiness of the wireless client. Actually, it's the signal strength in between the wireless client and the access point. And when Nebula determined the sticky client was constantly connect to AP with poor signal strength, then it will automatically steer the AP to reconnect to another access point with better signal quality. So this all happen automatically. So this is truly the solution for the SMB to tackle with the wireless problems. Now, with the BYOD in this post-pandemic era, it's always a challenge to the ITs, how you authenticate devices, how you authenticate people before they are allowed to access the network. So in the Nebula Together solution, in addition to the existing captive portal, the WPA2 authentication, we are adding the industry-leading strong authentication, the two-factor authentication. All right, so this is quite useful to enforce the authentication before the employee is allowed to access the network. And the 2FA basically is adding extra layer of security. So it greatly reduces the risk whenever there is a password leakage happening, right? And another challenge is the prevailing of the IoT devices. With IoT device, it's difficult to managing how these devices are onboarding your network. So no problem. In Nebula, we're supporting this DPPSK or dynamic pre-share key. So it is very suitable to as a technology to control onboarding of these IoT devices. So these are the solutions we're helping the SMB to effectively managing devices onboarding. And with the UEG Flex and the RIP together, we truly helping the SMB customer to build their network following the zero trust network security principle. Imagine the zero trust principle basically is talking about how we identify the people, identify the device, and identify the application. And also the user is only allowed to access the network resource before they get authenticated. So imagine you're building a network around the globe distributed in different places. You have different devices accessing the network. How to control the security, right? So with the Nebula Together, we truly deliver a solution that helping IT to enforce corporate security policy and truly achieve the same security everywhere. And with the addition of the UEG Flex, now the UTM service is onboarding the Nebula Cloud. So using the Nebula Cloud, you can provision the UTM multi-layer security service to protecting your network effectively, all right? And this time we take a step further to introduce the new technology. This is industry leading, the DNS content filter. You know, nowadays, more and more websites, they deploy the TLS 1.3 encryption. So that means the URL header is encrypted, right? So traditional URL content filter is useless when it tackle with the website deployed with the TLS 1.3. So there is a technology over there that can to deal with the problem, which is the SSO inspection. However, to deploy SSO inspection require the expertise, the professional expertise. So this is not available in every SMB customers. So the DNS content filter is the perfect solution for SMB to deal with the TLS 1.0 website, because instead of parsing the URL, it is actually inspecting the DNS transaction. So with that in place, even the website is TLS 1.3 encrypted, but still the corporate security policy could be enforced. So this maintains a good level of security in the new era. A security visibility is so important. You always need to understand what the security solution do for you. This is important for you, for your boss, and for your customer, right? So this time the Nebula Together, we not just put the devices working together. However, we also integrate the renowned security reporter into the same solution. So now from the Nebula, you can easily to switch in between the Nebula dashboard and also the security reporter dashboard, right? So from the security reporter dashboard, you can easily to monitor to see the security analytics, or you can spot out the abnormal user behaviors, or you can create customized reports for your customers. So this all happens seamlessly between the Nebula dashboard and the security reporter. Now, the new member of the Nebula, the UEG Flex series, the UTM security pack. With this time, we are adding 2 new services into the UTM security pack. So in addition to the existing web filtering, IPS, application patrol, anti-malware, email security, and security reporter, we are adding 2 new features. SPS, the security profile sync, which helps the IT to maintain the same security policy across different networks. And also another creative CDR, collaborative detection and response. This helps SMBs to automatically respond to network threat before they are spreading out. So these are the nice new features to helping SMBs to build a network to take the security to a new level. Okay, so now after introducing so many exciting new features of the new Nebula solution, now it's time to take a look of the Nebula range. So let's begin with the firewall. The UEG Flex series is our latest generation firewall. It delivers full-blown UTM with the high performance, and it is helping the SMB customer to building a zero trust network security based on the zero trust network security principle. So it supports some major critical features like the strong two-factor authentication for different scenarios. No matter you are accessing from wire or wireless or from IoT, we can deal with that. And the CDR is an effective method, effective way to tackle with the network threats automatically. And not to mention the secure Wi-Fi AP tunnel, which helps the company to deliver a balanced solution of the productivity and security. So these are the all new attribute features of the UAG Flex series and also in the Nebula platform. And let's put side by side the NSG series and also the UAG Flex series. And now the major difference in between the UAG Flex series versus the NSG is where the UAG Flex series, it does support the standalone mode. So that means you can manage the UAG Flex on premise, okay? Or if you choose to use the Nebula to control the UAG Flex, no problem. So we call this the Nebula Flex. So you can, there's a flexibility for customer to choose in between the on-premise or on-cloud. And also with the purchase of the UAG Flex, there are up to 1 year Pro Pack included in the device. And also there are 1 year A-in-1 security pack included in the device. So these are to make sure that the customer could enjoy the highest level of security and also the advanced feature from the Nebula platform. Switching, GS1920 is the Zyxel's best-selling smart switch range. So it comes with a variety of the model selections from PoE, non-PoE, from small port count models like the 8-port and over to the 48-port models. And it's a innovative design is the even with the 130 watt PoE plus output, but still we can design it as a fanless. So this is quite useful if you want to deploy a switch in an environment where they require a low level of noise. And there are a couple of few creative things. The surge protection, we are making the high standard in our product, making sure our product is reliable. Okay, and not to mention for the PoE Plus models, we can supply up to 370 watt. This is among the highest in the industry. And also we have a variety of different variants of the fiber uplink options from the 6 SFP ports for the 48 port models and over the 2 SFP links for the small port count models. Like I said, we are producing a variety of network switches from the native Nebula NSW models to the Nebula Flex models, and beginning from the layer 2 smart switch over to the layer 2 managed and the flagship XS Series 800-28 layer 3 switch, right? And these switches, they can work from the standalone mode or they can work with the Nebula. And some of them equipped with the latest audio and video features. So this is quite suitable in this vertical. And for this layer 2 and above switches, there is 1 year Pro Pack license included. So there are so many models here. So always feel free to consult our local sales rep for more details about the switching model selection. Zyxel is one of the few vendors to launch a comprehensive portfolio of the Wi-Fi 6 AP. Right, so taking our flagship model WAX650S, for example, it delivers stunning 3.5 gig performance with a 4x4 Wi-Fi 6 access point, and it equipped with the industry-leading smart antenna technology, where it will automatically shaping the radio pattern in an environment with a congestion or interference. So this could assure that the access point deliver the best result in any kind of environment. And the product comes with a multi-gig uplink, 5 gig, so it could ensure that it's always wire speed. And not to mention it's a 4x4, so it is the best solution for the environment hosting a multiple wireless client requiring high level wireless performance. And the entry-level model WAX510D, it still delivers 1.5 gig performance with a 2x2 Wi-Fi 6. Right, so it equipped with the 1 gigabit Ethernet uplink, and the unique part is that it equipped with our proprietary optimized antenna. So depending on the mounting position, the radio pattern could be optimized, no matter you are mounting the AP on the wall or on the ceiling. And all these APs are security capable, so they all support our latest security function, like the secure Wi-Fi, which helps IT to build a secure tunnel in between the home and the office, and also the CER, which could collaborate with the UG flex firewall to contain the threat at the network edge. Again, that's why we offer a wide range of the access points. So beginning from the entry level 11AC 2x2 models over to the flagship Wi-Fi 6 4x4 models. And the access points, we call it tri-mode. They could operate in the standalone mode, or some of them could be managed by the controller if the customer want to deploy the management method through the on-premise wireless controller. Or those access points could work with the Nebula to fast deploy and simple to manage, right? And some of them are with the Nebula Protect included. And also the latest Wi-Fi 6 AP, again, they support our latest security function to helping IT to build a secure network. All right, so now it's time to share with you about the licensing scheme of the whole new Nebula solution. In the new Nebula, we basically designed three tiers of the package. The first is the base pack, so it's free. And there are a new tier, we call it the plus pack, and also the flagship, the pro pack. And all these license, I mean the pro pack license and the plus pack license, they come with the 1 month, 1 year, and 2 year duration, right? And these licenses, now we change the design, they are all flat rate licenses. So it means that no matter you are buying license for the AP, or you are buying license for a switch, or you are buying license for a UAG flex, they all are the same license, all right? And not to mention on the pro pack, this time we are improving the pricing structure. So the value of the pro pack is ever increasing. All right, so these are the features of the base pack, plus pack, and the pro pack. So base pack is basically good enough for the customer. They are managing multiple devices. So the benefit of Nebula they can use is using the Nebula to provision these devices. All right, so there are some features like zero-touch provisioning, like the over-the-air firmware update. These are the basic functions are included. So it's good enough for the customer. They just require the minimum set of Nebula features, right? On the other hand, the plus pack on top of the base pack, it's a new tier. So it is for the customer. They don't need everything, including the pro pack. However, they need some advanced features like the topology, like the schedule firmware upgrade, like the troubleshooting and notification. So this is the plus pack is the right solution for this kind of customer. And over to the pro pack is the flagship product. So it includes everything Nebula have, the advanced features, authentication, the security, the troubleshooting, the CCTV, everything is packed into this package. So this is the suitable for the customer that are managing large scale of network, and they are requesting for higher level of security. So now let's explain what is the per device licensing, how it works. So there are three types of organization in the Nebula, in the new Nebula, right? They are the base pack type of organization, and they are also the plus pack type of organization, and they are also the pro pack type of organization. So per device licensing means that within that same organization, each device must install with the license from that tier. So for example, in the plus pack organization, every device in the organization must install with a plus pack license, right? And the same story happened in the pro pack organization. And this license cannot be mixed. For example, in the pro pack organization, you cannot install a plus pack license in any of the devices. So let's use two examples to further explain the idea. All right, so let's say you got 10 devices with pro pack license in your organization. So the license period is from the 1st of January to end of the 2022, right? So 10 devices with ProPack license. So obviously this is a ProPack organization. And in the middle of the contract, the customer determined to adding a Nebula Flex device. In this case, it's a NWA110AX, all right? So this product, this device does not come with the ProPack license included. So at that point, there is a 15-day grace period, right? So customers can determine if they upgrade the device to the ProPack or they want to go with the base pack. So if the customer determined to go with the ProPack organization, then what he needs to do is to add in 6 months of the ProPack license to that new device. And then the contract could be synchronized, ended up at the 1st of January, 2023. However, if the customer determined not to maintain the ProPack organization, then no problem. The organization will fall back to the base pack, and they can continue to use the Nebula to manage the network, but just with the base pack functionality. Another example is, again, the first set of devices is 10 devices. And in the middle of the contract, the customer is adding 5 new Nebula devices with the ProPack license included, all right? So all these two different set of devices will running in the same ProPack organization, all right? So the license contract of the first set of device will be ended by 1st of January, 2023. So again, at that point, customer has the 15 days grace period to determine if they continue to maintain the ProPack organization or they fall back to the base pack. So in the case, customer determine they are not continuing to using the ProPack, so the organization will fall back to the base pack. So they are just using the base pack feature to continue managing the network. So hope that these 2 examples help you understand the new Nebula licensing scheme, all right? Again, the Zyxel Nebula is a solution that we engineer for fast to deploy and simple to manage. And also this time we take the security to a new level. Thank you.
All right. Okay, thank you, Justin. So we will go ahead and take some time for questions now. Just a reminder, please be sure to type your questions into the question box in your control panel. In this Q&A session, I'd like to invite our technical support engineer, Barney, Gregorio, and Justin to answer the questions for our audience that leave earlier. Okay, it looks like that we have a few questions already. So Shang is asking if we can share the slides. Yes, we will share with everyone later. And then we have Richard. Does Nebula Cloud support bulk addition of devices? So I'll let Barney to answer that.
Oh, yes, Richard, thank you for the question. So if you go to our Nebula website and you go under organization-wide, in the license and inventory page, you can add the add button, right? And from there, there's an extra option where you can download our template. And from that template, you open an Excel document and then just copy and paste your list of MAC address and serial number and just import that list. And then you've got your bulk, import of devices.
Okay, thank you. So I have other questions here. So Eric is asking, is Nebula Together the only solutions that you suggest us to take on for work from home scenario, or what other options do I have? So I'll let Justin to answer that.
All right. So in the work from home scenario, depending on the customer needs, we have a different options for the customer to choose from. All right. The most simple form of the work from home is the VPN. So if in the case the company they just have 1 and 2 employees work from home remotely, then the most cost-effective way is to simply deploy the Zyxel Secure Extender IPsec VPN client. So this could help customers to build a secure tunnel before the employees is allowed to access the network, right? However, when the scale is getting bigger, there are more and more employees. There are 10, 20 employees that work from home, and also the company is pursuing the maximum productivity and security. At that place, in that scenario, the remote access point, the secure Wi-Fi is the best solution because a layer 2 tunnel will be established in between the employee's workplace and the office network. So this can truly balance the productivity and the security. And the most complex one is if you are running a branch office or multiple branch offices, then you can directly deploy a UEG Flex firewall in that network. This will deliver the maximum protection to make sure that the same security could be enforced across all the networks. So here are the solutions we offer. And again, depending on customer needs, they can free to choose whatever they need.
Okay, so I have other questions from a microdata asking what are the components in the USG 8-in-1 security pack? So Justin should answer this one.
Yeah, the USG 8-in-1 security pack, it's basically it's a full-blown UTM service. So before this Nebula Together launch, the full UTM services is the UTM features like the anti-malware, the content filtering, the IDP, the application control, the secure reporter, and also the email security. And now with the Nebula Together launch, we are adding additional 2 new security services. It's the security profile sync, which help the customer to synchronize the security profile across networks. And also the number 8 is the CDR, which is the collaboration in between the firewall and the AP to contain the threat at the network edge. So hope this answers your question.
Okay, so the coming questions is asking why Nebula decide to change its licensing structure after 5 years. So how will it affect our current license? So Barney will answer that.
Yes, thank you, Peter. So there are 3 main strategies for changing the architecture of our license, right? The first strategy is simplification, because we have some complaints from our users that they bought a 1-year Pro Pack license and then activated in an organization, and then they found out when they transferred their device to a different organization, somehow their 1-year Pro Pack license no longer applies. That's because in license 1.0, our NCC point system is stored in the organization and not the device. So moving forward in license 2.0, our licenses will now go wherever the hardware goes. Okay, so that's simplification. It makes a user much easier to understand how licenses work. The second strategy is unification. So with the arrival of the USG Flex in Nebula Control Center, we now come with an issue here. You've now got the UTM pack license in standalone mode. How does that work in cloud mode? So in license 2.0, we've decided that the UTM pack license of your USG Flex in standalone mode will also be carried over to cloud mode. So instead of purchasing a separate set of UTM pack license in cloud mode, all you need to do is just purchase that one UTM pack, and you can use that for both cloud mode and standalone mode. But please note that since they share the same set of licenses, their activation period and their expiration period are all the same. The third strategy for license 2.0 is giving our users more options and varieties. So back in license 1.0, we've got a couple of users who, they don't want to use all the Pro Pack features. So they're asking, is there a way to, split up those features into different tiers of license? So in license 2.0, we now introduced the Plus tier pack. And I don't think it was covered in the Nebula Together training presentation, but there's also going to be an MSP pack. So our users can now selectively choose which license pack they want to purchase. And for your second question, how will it affect our current license now that we transition to license 2.0? We've implemented a conversion method within our system that automatically activates when we launch Nebula Phase 11. So if you had 6 months left on your Pro Pack service before Nebula Phase 11 launch, you will still have that 6-month Pro Pack service after the launch of Nebula Phase 11. The only difference here is instead of having those license points, it's going to be converted into individual licenses among all your devices in the organization. So there is absolutely no impact or no loss in your licenses.
Okay, so thanks, Barney. And the coming questions from Alex that asking in the video that you mentioned several times of CDR, can you explain further the difference for one with or without this?
Okay, the full name of the CDR, Collaborative Detection and Response. It is basically the solution we designed, particularly for the SMB customers. Imagine traditionally, any customer, they could purchase a UTM firewall, so you can buy from any brand. All right. However, normally the SMB customer, they are lacking the knowledge to really tackle with the security threats happening in their network. Though the UTM will identify, spot out the threats. However, what's the next step action for them before the network was overwhelming by the compromised client? This becomes challenging to the most of the SMBs. So now with the Zyxel CDR, we take a step further. We not just spot out the network threats. However, we also making our network elements working together, particularly the USG Flex firewall and also the remote access point. So once this solution in place, whenever there's a threat identified and meeting the pre-configured security policy, then the Nebula will collaborate the APs to issue the MAC filter to making sure that the compromised client was contained at the network edge. So that means this content or blocking is from layer 2. So it's totally isolated. Okay, so that makes sure that the compromised client will no longer affecting the network. So this is a truly solution. This is a true solution for the SMBs to tackle with the network threats. Thank you.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, other questions related to AP. So, okay, you mentioned secure tunnel in the videos, and does the feature come with the AP you mentioned, or how it works with in terms of purchasing or activation? So maybe Barney answers.
Okay, so just to clarify, we call the feature, we call the service or the license secure Wi-Fi, but the actual feature, we call it remote AP. So in order to implement a secure Wi-Fi or remote AP, you first have to have a USG Flex as well as APs that support a remote AP. And from there, what you have to do is purchase a secure Wi-Fi license and then assign it to your USG Flex. Okay, so you don't buy secure Wi-Fi licenses for your AP. You buy them for your USG Flex. And from there, you deploy your remote APs to the remote offices or where the people are working from home. Okay, so this is this remote AP or this secure Wi-Fi is the best solution. It's one of the best solutions we have for working from home during the pandemic. So this will allow our APs to create an NBGRE tunnel from the home network to the central office. And from there, there's going to be a transparent L2 network connection between these two sites. Okay, so we also further increase the security level by implementing strong encryption methods within this tunnel. So this method will ensure a high productivity in a secured manner for our customers.
Okay, so I'll answer Ben's questions first, and then we'll go to Sean's. Ben is asking, what's the main difference between USG Flex on cloud and on premises? So Justin, please.
Well, as I just mentioned, the USG Flex is a new member in the Nebula solution, right? So the UHG Flex, we just launched this product already in the market for a year. So it basically supports the on-premise mode before, and now it's additionally supporting the Nebula management. So it means that this product could be operated in the on-premise mode or in the on-cloud mode. So this time with the Nebula Together launch, the main security functions like the UTM security fabric, the full UTM service, the collaborative detect CDR, the secure Wi-Fi, these main functions are the same. No matter you are managing your UHG Flex from on-premise or you are managing the UHG Flex from Nebula. So this is the scenario where we try to make sure that the main functionality is identical, no matter it's on or off cloud. However, on off cloud is customer's decision, the management decision. So for example, if you are deploying the UHG Flex in a isolated network, then obviously the device won't get a connection with the Nebula cloud. So at this point, the on-premise installation becomes a suitable solution. Or another example, you are managing multiple network together with the AP switch altogether, and you are requiring the single dashboard, you are requiring the easy to deploy across different sites, then obviously Nebula is the pick. So again, the main function, security functions remain the same, no matter it's on or off cloud. However, it's customer's decision to go with the on-premise or on cloud.
Okay, so we back to the question that Sean is asking. So despite I said in ZCNT session, the slides just now still brought major licensing change to my attention. If all Pro devices will be downgraded to base pack just because of a new base device was added, will the Pro license consumption still continue or be paused or reserved? So Justin.
All right, the answer is, in your scenario, the Pro license will continue to consume, right? And this is why we designed the 15 days grace period. And the 15 days, customer could have enough time to review what they are going to do next, all right? So either they determine to continue with the Pro, then they get enough time to renew the Pro license on that device without Pro license, right? Or the customer determined not to go with the Pro, then that indicates they no longer require the Pro pack services. So they can fall back. They determine to go with the base pack without the Pro features, right? However, they could using the Nebula to transfer the remaining license to other devices. This is allowed, all right? So hope this answering your question.
Okay, and I see Len's questions is coming in, so maybe we will jump to next slide. So Len is asking, just in case the client needs a demo unit, can we provide to distributors in Philippines? So here is the contact information of our local offices, and the sales representative, they are happy to help. Okay, so is there other questions? If you do, please leave them in the Q&A box or just raise your hands.
Before we close this session, there is another announcement I would like to share with you. It's alongside with the Nebula Together launch. There is a promotion initiated from the headquarters, which is the secure Wi-Fi 3 months promotion, right? So the game rule is quite simple. Beginning 26th of April, from headquarters, we will be giving away the 3 months secure Wi-Fi promotion license to every registered UHG Flex device. So as long as you got a UHG Flex registered under your account, then after 26th of April, you will be receiving the 3 months secure Wi-Fi license. And the offering will be ended by 30th of June. So hopefully, if we are launching your local sales campaign, and this could be part of your campaign, all right? So just share with you about the promotion triggered by the headquarters.
Okay, so it looks like that we've covered all of our questions. Thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you next time.